Welcome. Welcome to the 5th week of discipling and mentoring at New Hope Christian College. I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about the very last phase of the disciple-making process, one which we haven't had time to really go into much detail, and that is the Remain in Me phase, the very last phase. And I want to say this up front, that I think Remain in Me is a little misleading. I've been working with these phases now in disciple making as a theory for the last 10 years, a theory and a practice. And I've always thought Remain in Me was a little misleading because it sounds passive or conservative, trying to hold on to things. I'm just sitting around remaining in Jesus. But actually, Remain in Me is where I become, in some ways, most aggressive. It's where I become, as a growing discipler, it's where I become responsible for creating the disciple-making process in my church or my small group or my movement. No longer am I doing good things myself, but I'm creating that climate, that atmosphere where good things and progressive things and Christ-enhancing things can happen. It's also the phase, the Remain in Me phase, which where the person I'm discipling, they move from becoming my disciple to a disciple maker in their own right. My disciple is no longer just a learner, no longer just one being developed, but now it's a proactive disciple maker, him or herself. And so we've moved from doing things with a person to watching them and working together, and now we release them into ministry. We've discovered, we've developed, and now we deploy a person into their area of giftedness. And this is where disciple making becomes a process of multiplication. Rather than once in a while adding another disciple, I lead someone to Christ and I teach them how to be a Christian. I become a disciple-making machine because I turn out other disciple-making machines. People who have the whole mentality and the whole passion of not seeing themselves multiplied, but seeing the Word of God multiplied, seeing the grace of God multiplied, seeing the people of God multiplied as they move into other people's lives with intention, with purpose, and with the faith that as they minister to that person, that Christ becomes involved and the Spirit is formed, and then that person becomes a disciple maker who is then in the Remain in Me phase. Thanks so much for walking with me through this process. I've been so inspired by the things that you've wrote and by the way you interact with each other, and I know that God has great things in store for you, and I look forward to seeing those develop as you find disciples, as you work with them, and as they become disciple makers, and so the ripple spread. Thanks so much, and God bless.